So now we'll look into critical theory. Critical theory is basically something, a school of thought of Marxism, right? Which basically looks into the issues of oppression and the marginalized community, the marginalized group, the vulnerable groups in society, like specific issues that there has been addressed: empowerment of the people, inequality, economic inequality, domination, oppression, and alienation. Something that has not been discussed by the other worldview, right? So pragmatism, right? It started, or it's associated heavily with C.S. Peirce, right? Proposal that true beliefs will be accepted at the end of inquiry, right? And William James' proposal that truth be defined in terms of utility, right? What do they mean by that? Okay, we'll look into that, right? Pragmatism basically believes calls for bridging the gap between the scientific method and structuralist orientation of older approaches, right? And the naturalistic methods and free-willing orientation of newer approaches. Right? It means right, it's try to combine or try to mend the gap between scientific methods and the structuralist orientation, right? Basically, it says that knowledge claims arise out of action, situations, and consequences. Or in other words, pragmatist research looks for what works, right? If this research, what is the best mechanism to conduct this research? What is the best way to extract the data from the participants, right? It doesn't confine itself in one single paradigm or one single approach to see the data or interpretation, right? So it's more a practical kind of way, right? It looks for what's the best method to gather the data. Right? It also explains that a belief that human action can never be separated from the past experience and from the belief that have originated from the experience. Right? Human beings are rich of experience, right? Are rich of knowledge. It says that pragmatism says that they are not. It is difficult for them to be separated from the past experience, right? So therefore, it is intrinsically linked to their action. So the past experiences that they have seen, that they have learned, that they have came through, all have a certain level of influence. Whether it's major or minor is a different question altogether. But they have a major. They have an influence over the actions of human being, right? They use the result of the action to predict consequences of similar actions in the future, right? Like understanding the polling pattern, right? That's the consequences to polling, to voting, and so on, right? So that's okay. Basically, what is research? The term research itself is, if you separate them into two different, or break it down, the word research, right? You redo the searching. You have to search and search again and again, maybe the same topic for different time using different methods or different theoretical approaches and so on, right? So what are the findings? Like for instance, we see that if you look into the gender portrayal, when you use the feminist approach, you find that women are portrayed as an object, a sexual object, and so on. But when you use the Marxist paradigms, you find that the rich women are portrayed differently compared to a poor woman. What are the differences between ethnicity and gender? How the white women are portrayed compared to a black woman. So different methods or different theoretical approach gives different findings and answers to research. It's basically right. Research is basically very systematic, right? You design your research, you have certain focus, you develop your research questions, you know what you have to do, and so on. It's basically in order to establish facts and reach new conclusions, right? It cannot be repeating the findings that has been done in the past. When there's a question or problem you want to resolve, right? Like you want to identify, like you want to know why people are not using the older mass media, for instance, why the popularity or reach of certain television programs is lowered compared to what's happening now. Maybe the emergence of Netflix or Amazon and so on, how they have affected the consumption pattern, right, towards media and so on. Like there are some problems that you want to resolve, that you want to know why it has happened as such, right? After you formulate your questions, how you're going to figure out how you're going to answer it, right? Basically, it's your research, you have to answer it, right? And how do you figure how you're going to answer it, right? So let's say you take a topic, right? Obviously, when you take a topic, there are multiple research. There's course of research has been done on similar topic. So you spend your time to read these researchers, right? And then you identify how others have answered it, right? How does your proposal fit in with what others have done, right? And then how will you know when you have answered it, right? The first is for you to construct a question or construct to make sure that you don't repeat the same answer that has been answered on the topic. So you have to identify whether you have to amend your methods or your analysis pattern or your theoretical framework and so on. How does your proposal fit in with what others have done, right? Whether it goes in alignment with researchers or you are trying to amend here and there so that it gives it new outlook and so on, right? So qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative may be more concerned with the individual's personal experience of the problem, understanding, right? Again, qualitative doesn't go for number, basically, right? The basic gist doesn't go for number. It's more concerned about the personal experiences, how individuals interpret certain phenomenon, right? What are their experiences? What have they gone through? What are the limitations they have faced, and so on. Quantitative is, on the other hand, systematically observe changes in the phenomena of interest while manipulating what I believe to be casual influences. Right? Quantitative defines what may have been the casual influences, what has been the cause for this effect, right?